is ASP Garlet BSCE 2, and I will be answering the assignment for the engineering mathematics. So the assignment has 3 questions. So this is the first question. Compute the absolute error and relative error in approximation of P by P asterisk. So before we answer the sub numbers of this question, we first have to know the formula for absolute error and relative error. So the formula for absolute error is E is equivalent to A is absolute error is equivalent to P minus P asterisk inside an absolute, and ER is equivalent to P minus P asterisk over P. Yeah, so it's less absolute. So that is the only formula we need to answer the numbers in number 1. So the first letter is A. So A. So P is equivalent to pi, and P asterisk is equivalent to 22 over 7. So we just have to use for the absolute value, we have to use this formula. So we just fill in. So absolute error is equivalent to pi minus 22 over 7. So if you use your calculator, it will equate to 1.26449 times 10 to the power of negative 3. So for the relative error, we have to use this formula. So we have to fill in the given. So pi minus 22 over 7 over pi. So if you calculate that, it will equate to relative error is equivalent to 4.02499 times 10 to the power of negative 4. And with letter B, you really have to do the same thing. So P is equivalent to pi, while the approximate value is equivalent to 3.1416. So use that formula again. Pi minus 3.1416 is equivalent to 7.34641 times 10 to the power of negative 6. For the relative, use that formula for the relative again. Pi minus 3.1416 over pi, and that will equate to ER is equivalent to 2.33843 times 10 to the power of negative 6. So with letter C, the P is the Euler's number and the approximate is 2.718. So we have to fill in again, fill the given to the formula again. So E minus 2.718, that will equate to 2.81828 times 10 to the negative 4. Okay, that. And for the relative, fill in the given again. E minus 2.718 over E. So that will equate to 1.03679 times 10 to the negative 4. So we'll go to letter D. So the given is P is equivalent to square root of 2, and the approximate is 1.414. So we have to fill in again. So square root of 2 minus 1.414, that will equate to 2.13562 times 10 to the negative 4. So for the relative error, that is, fill in the given again to the formula. So square root of 2 minus 1.414 over the square root of 2. That is all in absolute, so there's no negative answer here. So ER is equivalent to 1.51011 times 10 to the negative raised to negative 4. So with letter E is here. The value for letter E is the Euler's number raised to 10, and the approximate is 22,000. So fill in again. Euler's number raised to the 10 minus 22,000 is equivalent to 26.46579. So for the relative error is, fill in again, Euler's number raised to the 10 minus 22,000 over Euler's number raised to the 10. So that will equate to 1.20154 times 10 raised to negative 3. So let's go to letter F here. Letter F is P is equivalent to 10 raised to the power of pi, and the approximate is 1400. So fill in So 10 raised to the power of pi minus 1400. So that will equate to 14.54427. So for the relative error, so same thing, 10 raised to the power of 10 raised to the power of pi minus 1400 over 10 raised to the power of pi. So the relative error is 0.0105. So that is the relative error for F. So for G, the P is 8 factorial while the approximate value is 39,900. So you have to do the same thing. So 8 factorial minus 39,900. So that will equate to 420. So the absolute error for G is 420. While in the relative error of G, you have to use that formula. So 8 factorial minus 39,900 over 8 factorial. So that will equate to 0.01042. So this is letter H of number 1. So the P is equivalent to 9 factorial and the P approximate is square root of 18 pi times 9 over Euler's number raised to the power of 9. So you have to do the same thing. So for the absolute, 9 factorial minus square root of 18 pi times 9 over Euler's number raised to the power of 9. That is all in absolute. So okay, so the absolute error is 3343.12716. For the relative error, so you have to use the formula for the relative error. So 9 factorial minus square root of 18 pi times 9 over Euler's number raised to the power of 9. So that will equate to over 9 factorial. So that will equate to 9.21276 times 10 to the raised to the power of negative 3. So that is number 1. So this is number 2. Find the largest interval in which P asterisk must lie to approximate P with relative error at most 10 to the power of negative 4 for each value of P. So if you read the question properly, you can come up with a formula. So you just use the formula for absolute error and relative error. So you'll come up with P minus P times 10 to the negative 4 raised to the negative 4 because of this less than P approximate less than P plus P times 10 to the power of negative 4. So the letter A for number 2 is I forgot to write the P for number 2. The value of P for number 2 is pi. So we just have to put the pi in this formula. So pi minus pi times 10 raised to negative 4 is less than P approximate is also less than pi plus pi times 10 raised to the power of negative 4. So if you calculate that will equate to 3.14128 is less than pi approximate less than, and pi approximate is less than, but it is not greater than 3.4191. So this is the value 3.14128 and 3.14191. So for letter B, I also forgot to write the value of P, but the value of P is the Euler's number. So you just have to put the Euler's number in this formula. So E minus E times 10 raised to the power of negative 4 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is less than E plus E times 10 to the negative 4, raised to the negative 4. So if you calculate both of these, it will equate to 2.71801 is less than the P approximate, but the P approximate is also less than 2.71855. So these are the values. So you just rewrite here. For letter C, the value of P is negative. The value of P is square root of 2. So square root of 2 minus square root of 2 times 10 raised to negative 4 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than square root of 2 plus 2 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4. So the values would be, if you calculate both of these equations, it will equate to 1.41407 is less than the P approximate, but the P approximate is also less than 1.41435. So this is the answer. For the letter D, P is equivalent to the cube root of 7. So we'll use the formula from before. So cube root of 7 minus cube root of 7 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4, and it is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than cube root of 7 plus cube root of 7 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4. So if you calculate both these equations, it will come up to 1.91274 is less than the P approximate, and the P approximate is also less than 1.91312. So that is number 2. So this is the number 3, the last number of the assignment. Suppose P asterisk must approximate P with relative error at most 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Find the largest interval in which P approximate, P asterisk or P approximate must lie for each value of P. So if you read that problem intensively, it is more like the number 2. So you can come up with a formula like number 2. So you can come up with P minus P times 10 to the negative 3. So this is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than P plus P times 10 to the negative 3. So negative 3 here. So let's answer the letters for number 3. So the value of P for A, value for P for A is P is equivalent to 150, and so we have to fill in the 150 here. So we have to fill in 150 to this formula. So 150 minus 150 times 10 raised to the negative 3 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is less than 150 plus 150 times 10 to the negative 3. So if you calculate both these equations, it will come up to 149.85 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than 150.15. So this is the range. So P approximate is between those numbers. And so letter B is P is equivalent to 900. So 900 minus 900 times 10 to the negative 3 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than 900 plus 900 times 10 to the negative 3. So if you calculate that, it will equate to 899.1 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is less than 900.9. So there. For the letter C, the value for P is 1500. So you have to fill in the P to the formula. So 1500 minus 1500 times 10 to the negative 3 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than 1500 plus 1500 times 10 to the negative 3. So if you calculate that, it will equate to 1498.5 is less than P approximate, but P approximate is also less than 1501.5. So for the last letter, for number 3, P is equivalent to 90. So 90 minus 90 times 10 to the negative 3 is less than P approximate. But P approximate is also less than 90 plus 90 times 10 to the negative 3. So if you calculate this and this, it will equate to 89.91 is less than P approximate, and the P approximate is less than 90.09. So that is the assignment. Thank you for watching.